What's going on, DFS Trash Talkers? I'm your girl, Nita Rodriguez. Thank you for tuning in as always. We're back for another week of NFL Under the Radar plays for week 6. I have some good plays for you guys. I hope you guys did well last week. We had some very good plays last week. Regardless if you played them in GPPs or cash, it should have did you some good. I think at quarterback we had our boy Trevor Lawrence, who actually did pretty decent, got us about 21 fantasy points. Our second and third pick was at wide receiver with Tony and Ross. Ross didn't do too well. However, he was still decent, I guess, as a flyer, but he didn't get the points that we wanted. As far as Tony goes, he did an awesome job. Yes, Galladay got hurt. I hope you didn't choose him like I told you in the last video. And hopefully Tony made you guys some money because he ended up with like 32 fantasy points and he crushed his $4,000 tag. And then at, I think at tight end, we had... I'm trying to remember our boy's name. Let me go back through the notes. That way I'm not second guessing myself. But I know it was a decent play because a lot of people were saying, why didn't we stack him? But let's see what we got here on notes. We had Mike Gesicki. I knew we had somebody. But Gesicki, he basically hit a floor game. He didn't give us that ceiling game that we was looking for. So hopefully with the picks that we have this week, we'll bring you guys some greatness, get you guys takedowns, and wherever else that you guys need to take down your GPPs. Again, this video is for GPP only. We're looking to maximize our win. We're looking for the defenses to pick on. But this week I kind of changed it up because we have a few games that have a 50 plus total. And then we have 4 other games that have a total between 45 and 49. So we have 8 games with some decent totals. But what I did was I basically made sure that I picked some plays out of those 50-point totals for you guys. And I did that because a lot of times we start scattering our plays when we shouldn't. We should be picking at the games who have those high totals, who are going to maximize the ceiling that we're looking for, especially for GPPs. So with that being said, I am going to kick it off at QB with Dak Prescott. So Dak Prescott, he's going to be facing New England Patriots. And y'all know I love my Patriots. I'm very biased. I don't like picking against my Patriots. However, being realistic, they have been pretty garbage. So let's see if we can work with that and pick on them a little bit. So with that being said, Dak is 7,100 on DraftKings, and he's 8,100 on FanDuel, projecting for 5% ownership on DraftKings and 4% ownership on FanDuel. So this is one of the games that has the 50-point total. Okay. He's averaging 294 passing yards a game, 2 touchdowns a game, and but Patriots is only allowing 200 passing yards per game. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, or maybe it does. I'm not too sure. For me, it doesn't sound like a lot. However, from watching the Patriots play, they haven't been like the best of anything. So I think we could take advantage of the Patriots doing, not really playing defense as well as they should. Okay. Patriots allow, again, the 7th least passing yards, but they give up the 14th most passing touchdowns in a game. So we could take advantage of that as well. They allow the 7th most receptions between 10 and 19 yards, and that's at 22%. And they allow the 2nd most 20-yard reception catches in the NFL at 17.6%. So we could take advantage of that too. We compare Dak with, Lamb or with Amari Cooper. Either one, it doesn't matter. I just feel like Bill Belichick will probably take one or the other out. So just be sure you figure out who Jackson is lining up with. Jackson is the key to all this with picking the wide receivers from Dallas. However, again, New England Patriots defense has been playing pretty garbage, and we should take advantage of their weaknesses. And like I said, as much as I love my team, they definitely have its weaknesses. Moving along, we have another QB, and I'm going to go, and I probably will jack up his name, so please forgive me, but I'm going to go with Taylor Heinicki. I think it's Heinicki. Something like that. He's 5,800 on DraftKings at 8.7% ownership, and he's 7,300 on FanDuel at 8% ownership. So again, this is another 50-point total shootout where KC, they're giving up the second most fantasy points in the league, allows the 10th most fantasy points to wide receiver, overall ranking dead last in the league on defense, whether it's passing and rushing. I think passing, they're like the second worst. So either way, we still get to pick on them, you know. So I don't see any problems right there. Heinicki has been playing pretty well. And KC is allowing the fourth most passing yards through 5 weeks. They have allowed 1,482. And KC allows also the 8th least passing touchdowns, and that's due to them always giving it up on the ground. So we could take advantage of either way it goes. I love Washington receivers in this game. It should be a shootout. Heinicki should do his thing. KC doesn't pressure, so he has all time to throw. I think he's a great play against the field, and for your GPPs, fire him up and take advantage of KC's whack defense. Next on our list, we have at wide receiver, Jamar Chase. So Jamar Chase has been like killing it lately. Doesn't matter who you're putting him up against. He has just been murdering defenses, mainly because he is a deep threat. He got that speed. He got the wheels to take off on any cornerback out there. Jamar Chase, he's 6,700 on DraftKings at 7.6%, and we got him just at the minimum or our threshold of 10% on FanDuel. Burrow is back from concussion protocol, so we could take advantage of him not being thrown to by the backup quarterback. We got Burrow's back. But just be careful with that because he is coming off of concussion. However, this is the NFL. Lately, people have just been like coming back from injuries and like doing their thing. So I can't even be upset with that. The last 4 weeks, his target share is 4, 5, 9, and 10. And that's with Higgins back, okay? Because Higgins played. And we know this because even I had him in a couple of lineups. So we can see that his target share is not diminishing. Detroit ranks in the middle of the pack when it comes to touchdown passes. However, they give up so many yardages like KC that it's in New England that it's bound to a touchdown pass is bound to happen, or 2 or 3. You just never know. It varies week to week. Okay. Detroit gives up the 6th most passing yards between 10 and 19 yards at 23.7%. They also give up the 20 20-yard reception passes to wide receivers at 18.5%, and that is the most in the NFL. So we could take advantage of those weak spots that Detroit has. Plus, they are lacking due to injuries, so I think we can also take advantage of that as well. Jamar Chase ranks 8th in fantasy points at wide receiver. So this is his stats through 5 weeks, right? He has 35 targets, 23 receptions, 456 receiving yards. 19.8 points. 19.8 yards per reception, and 527 air yards, 5 touchdowns for 19.70 fantasy points a week. Fire up Jamar Chase. Jameer Chase, however we say it. Y'all know I'm always jacking up somebody's name. But fire them up. Take advantage of the weak spots. Take advantage of the under-owned plays for this week's GPPs in week 6. I'm your girl, Nita Rodriguez. Thank you for tuning in as always. Make sure that you hit us up on Twitter if you have any questions at DFS Trash Talk. And if you can't reach us over there, you can always hit me up on my personal Twitter at Nita's World _. And we'll make sure to get back to you as best as we can. Please allow us that time and allow me time to respond. Also, unfortunately, I won't take questions after 10 a.m. just because we all have so many lineups we're trying to build, and I feel like I put out enough content throughout the week for you guys to take advantage of. So make sure you're looking at that. Make sure you're on the page. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to our YouTube page, DFS Trash Talk. We give you guys a lot of fantasy content that people can't afford, and that's why we're here. We're here for the little people. We're here to make sure that you guys are good. All right? So I'm your girl, Nita Rodriguez. Thank you again for tuning in as always. We are out.